Narendra, my dear friend, I would almost venture to say, more than a friend, a brother. In many ways, brothers.
India stands with Israel firmly.
The ties between India and Israel continue to blossom. Remember that in 2017, Prime Minister Narendra Modi became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Israel. This was reciprocated by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to India in 2018. Many would say that this was a case of India making up for missed opportunities of the past. Although the State of Israel came into existence in 1948, India only established diplomatic ties in 1992 when P.V. Narasimha Rao was India's Prime Minister. But a lot has changed since Prime Minister Modi came to power in 2014. Our defence partnership has grown, and while traditionally this was the prism through which one saw India-Israel ties for a long time, it has now expanded to multiple other domains as well. When Piyush Goyal, our Commerce and Industries Minister, visited Israel in November 2025, he and his counterpart, Nir Barkat, signed the terms of reference for an eventual free trade agreement. He also met Prime Minister Netanyahu during that visit. Bilateral trade is still low at a little over $3 billion excluding defence, but there is tremendous potential to grow with the skills both countries bring to the table in the technological space in particular. There is also a growing collaborative partnership in the field of agriculture. Prime Minister Modi addressed the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, the first Indian Prime Minister to do so.
It is a privilege and an honor for me to stand before this distinguished House. I do so as the Prime Minister of India and also as a representative of one ancient civilization addressing another. I bring with me the greetings of 1.4 billion Indians and a message of friendship, respect, and partnership. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your kind invitation and for your wonderful gesture of lighting up the Knesset in Indian colors. Your visit to India 3 years ago was the first by a Speaker of the Knesset. And thanks to you, I am the first Prime Minister of India to address this august gathering. Nine years ago, I had the good fortune to be the first Prime Minister of India to visit Israel. And I'm very happy to be here again, returning to a land to which I've always felt drawn. After all, I was born on the same day that India formally recognized Israel, September 17, 1950.
The speech was full of substance, especially when he directly named Hamas when condemning the terrorist attacks of the 7th of October 2023.
Honorable members, I also carry with me the deepest condolences of the people of India for every life lost and for every family whose world was shattered in the barbaric terrorist attack by Hamas on October 7. We feel your pain. We share your grief. India stands with Israel firmly, with full conviction in this moment and beyond. No cause can justify the murder of civilians. Nothing can justify terrorism. India has also endured the pain of terrorism for a long time. We remember the 26/11 Mumbai attacks and the innocent lives lost, including Israeli citizens. Like you, we have consistent and uncompromising policy of zero tolerance for terrorism with no double standards. Terrorism aims to destabilize societies, to block development, and to erode trust. Countering terrorism requires sustained and coordinated global action because terror anywhere threatens peace everywhere. That is why India supports all efforts that contribute to durable peace and regional stability.
You didn't flinch. You didn't waver. You didn't give excuses. You stood next to Israel. You stood by Israel. You stood for Israel. You stood for the truth. Thank you, my friend.
The speech also spoke of multiple initiatives to restore peace in the region, including the settlement of the Palestine issue. Do note that India advocates a two-state solution.
Some years ago, when you concluded the Abraham Accords, we applauded your courage and vision. It was a moment of new hope for our long troubled region. Since then, the situation has changed significantly. The path is even more challenging. Yet, it is important to sustain that hope. The Gaza Peace Initiative that was endorsed by the UN Security Council offers a pathway. India has expressed its firm support for the initiative. We believe that it holds the promise of a just and durable peace for all the people of the region, including by addressing the Palestine issue. Let all our efforts be guided by wisdom, courage, and humanity. The road to peace is not always easy, but India joins you and the world for dialogue, peace, and stability in this region.
A constant feature of India-Israel ties has been the emphasis on how persecuted Jews found a safe home in India through history and the contribution of Jews to nation building in India.
Jewish communities have lived in India without fear of persecution or discrimination. They have preserved their faith and participated fully in society. That record is a source of pride for us. Honorable members, the Bene Israel of Maharashtra, the Kochini Jews of Kerala, the Baghdadi Jews of Kolkata and Mumbai, and the Bene Menashe of the Northeast have enriched India. In my home state, Gujarat, there is a school set up by a Bene Israeli family, Mr. and Mrs. Best. It is an excellent school, and of course, it is called the Best School. Edwin Myers gave shape to the film's division of India and was a towering figure in the history of Indian cinema. Dr. Rubin David was the founder of the Kankaria Jew in Ahmedabad. The actor David Abraham Chaulkar, or Uncle David, become a household name across the country. Walter Kaufman composed the signature tune for All India Radio. David Sassoon built many institutions that still serve Indian society. And of course, the heroic contribution of Lieutenant General J.F.R. Jacob during the 1970 war with Pakistan is widely known. I had the honor of working closely with him after his retirement. We discussed India-Israel relations, among many other things, over many cups of tea. There have been countless others whose contributions are woven into India's rich fabric of life.
And there was inevitably a mention of the economic cooperation between the two countries.
For the last few years, India has been the fastest growing major economy in the world. Soon, we will be among the top 3 economies globally. At the same time, Israel is a powerhouse of innovation and technological leadership. This creates a natural foundation for our forward-looking partnership. We are committed to expanding trade, strengthening investment flows, and promoting joint infrastructure development. The bilateral investment treaty signed last year will provide confidence and predictability to our businesses. In the last few years, India has concluded a number of important trade agreements with other nations. To your west, the European Union and the UK. To your east, the UAE and Oman. Our bilateral goods trade has grown significantly in recent years, but it does not reflect the full scope of opportunity. That is why our teams are working hard to negotiate an ambitious free trade agreement. It will unlock the vast untapped potential in our trade relationship. We will also work closely in different formats, such as India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, and the I2U2 framework between India, Israel, UAE, and the US. Defense and security is another important pillar of our partnership. In November last year, we signed an MOU on defense cooperation. In today's uncertain world, a strong defense partnership between trusted partners like India and Israel is of vital importance.